will never travel to Paris the same way after learning this. Paris, the city of lights, love, and endless charm. Whether it's your first visit or your 10th, there's always something new to discover. Let's dive into these 50 must-know tips to make your Parisian adventure unforgettable. And maybe a little more hilarious. Tip number 1, don't just Eiffel Tower it. Explore the hidden gems. While the Eiffel Tower is iconic, Paris is filled with hidden streets and secret spots that offer a more authentic experience. Wander through the lesser-known neighborhoods and discover the true essence of Paris. Plus, fewer selfie sticks to dodge. Tip number 2, always carry an umbrella. Paris weather loves surprises. One moment it's sunny, the next it's pouring. An umbrella will be your best companion. And hey, it doubles as a stylish accessory. Tip number 3, forget taxis. Metro is your best friend. The Paris Metro is efficient, affordable, and takes you almost anywhere in the city. Plus, it's a great way to experience the daily life of Parisians. And let's be honest, it's a lot cheaper than a cab. Tip number 4, baguettes in the morning, croissants at night. There's nothing like starting your day with a fresh baguette and ending it with a buttery croissant. The aroma alone is worth the trip. Just don't try to fit them both in your bag at once. Trust me, the pastries in Paris are out of this world. Make it a point to try different bakeries and find your favorite. Your taste buds will thank you, even if your waistline doesn't. Tip number 5, learn bonjour and merci. These simple words go a long way in Paris. The locals appreciate the effort, and it often leads to friendlier interactions. And who doesn't love a little extra Parisian charm? Your Parisian charm level will skyrocket. A little politeness can open many doors and make your experience much more pleasant. Plus, it's a great way to practice your French accent. Tip number 6, skip the hotel breakfast. Hit the local patisseries. The best breakfasts are found in local bakeries. Fresh pastries, delicious coffee, and a true taste of Parisian life. And let's be real, who wants to eat a stale croissant? Tip number 7, tap water is safe. Paris. Tap water is clean and perfectly safe to drink. Save your money and the environment by refilling your bottle. Plus, it's a great way to avoid those pesky plastic bottles. No need to splurge on bottled. Plus, you'll find water fountains all around the city to keep you hydrated. Just don't mistake them for decorative fountains. Tip number 8, Paris is best explored on foot. Walking allows you to truly soak in the beauty and charm of the city. You'll stumble upon hidden gems and picturesque scenes that you might miss otherwise. And it's a great way to burn off those croissants. Wear comfy shoes. Paris is a city of cobblestones and long walks. Comfortable footwear is essential to enjoy your explorations without any discomfort. Trust me, your feet will thank you. Tip number 9, don't miss the local markets. Parisian markets are vibrant and full of life. From fresh produce to unique souvenirs, they offer a glimpse into the local culture. And who doesn't love a good bargain? Fresh and fabulous. The quality of the produce is top-notch, and the atmosphere is lively and engaging. Just be prepared to haggle a bit. Tip number 10, museum passes save time and euros. With so many world-class museums, a pass can be a great investment. It allows you to skip the lines and save money on entrance fees. And who doesn't love skipping lines? Tip number 11, picnics along the Seine are a must. There's something magical about enjoying a meal by the river, watching the boats go by, and soaking in the Parisian atmosphere. Just watch out for the seagulls. Wine obligatory. A bottle of French wine, some cheese, and a baguette make for the perfect picnic. And maybe a nap afterward. Tip number 12, beware of pickpockets. Keep your treasures close. Paris is generally safe, but like any big city, it's important to stay vigilant, especially in crowded areas. And remember, your fanny pack is your friend. Tip number 13, dress the part. Parisians are chic AF. Embrace the local fashion and dress stylishly. You'll feel more at home and blend in with the fashionable locals. Just don't overdo it with the beret. Tip number 14, avoid tourist traps. Ask locals for tips. Locals know the best spots that aren't overrun by tourists. Their recommendations can lead you to some of the best experiences in the city. And maybe a secret bakery or two. Tip number 15, midnight strolls to see the Eiffel Tower sparkle. The Eiffel Tower lights up every hour on the hour after dark. It's a sight you won't want to miss. And it's a great way to end a romantic evening. Tip number 16, speak softly in public. Parisians value quiet, Loud conversations can be seen as rude. Keep your voice down and enjoy the peaceful ambiance of the city. And save the loud laughs for the comedy clubs. Tip number 17, shopping. Hit up Le Marais. This trendy neighborhood is full of unique boutiques and stylish shops. It's a shopper's paradise. Just don't blow your entire budget in one go. Trendy and unique. You'll find one-of-a-kind items that you won't see anywhere else. And maybe a few things you didn't know you needed. Tip number 18, visit Montmartre for artsy vibes and stunning views. This historic district is known for its artistic heritage and breathtaking views of the city. And maybe a few street artists trying to sketch your portrait. Tip number 19, don't rush the Louvre. Pick a few must-sees. The Louvre is massive, and trying to see everything in one visit can be overwhelming. Focus on a few key pieces and take your time to appreciate them. And don't forget to say hi to Mona. Tip number 20, cruise the Seine. A boat ride on the Seine offers a unique perspective of Paris. You'll see many of the city's landmarks from the water. And it's a great way to rest your feet. Day or night, it's magical. The city looks different but equally beautiful at different times of the day. And it's a great way to avoid the traffic. Tip number 21, try macarons from La Durée. These delicate pastries are a Parisian specialty. La Durée is famous for its macarons, and they are a must-try. Just don't eat them all in one sitting. Thank me later. The flavors are exquisite, and they make for a perfect treat or gift. And a great Instagram post. Tip number 22, Sundays are for brunch. Parisians love their leisurely Sunday brunches. Join them and enjoy a relaxed meal to start your day. And maybe a mimosa or two. Join the locals. It's a great way to experience the local culture and enjoy some delicious food. And maybe make a new friend. Tip number 23, sunsets at Sacré-Cœur. Heart-stopping beauty. The view from Sacré-Cœur at sunset is simply breathtaking. It's one of the best spots to watch the sun go down over Paris. And a great place for a romantic selfie. Tip number 24, save receipts for VAT refunds. If you're shopping in Paris, you can get a refund on the VAT for purchases over a certain amount. Keep your receipts and ask the store for a tax refund form. And maybe treat yourself to something extra with the savings. Shop smart. This can save you a significant amount of money, especially on high-end items. And who doesn't love a good deal? Tip number 25, Parisian cafes are for people watching. There's no better way to soak in the Parisian atmosphere than by sitting at a cafe and watching the world go by. And maybe pretending you're in a French movie. Grab a seat, order a coffee or a glass of wine, and enjoy the scene. And maybe a croissant or two. Tip number 26, learn some French phrases. Even a few basic phrases can make a big difference. It shows respect and can lead to more positive interactions with locals. And maybe a free pastry. It shows respect. Parisians appreciate the effort and are often more willing to help if you try to speak their language. And who knows, you might even impress them with your accent. Tip number 27, don't miss the catacombs. These underground tunnels are filled with history and a bit of mystery. It's a unique and fascinating experience, and a great way to cool off on a hot day. Spooky, but cool. The catacombs offer a different perspective on the city's history, and maybe a few ghost stories. Tip number 28, visit Père Lachaise Cemetery. This famous cemetery is the final resting place of many notable figures. It's a peaceful and intriguing place to explore, and a great place for a quiet stroll. A celeb graveyard. You'll find the graves of famous people like Jim Morrison, Oscar Wilde, and Edith Piaf. And maybe a few you didn't know were there. Tip number 29, use public bikes for a fun city tour. Paris has a great bike sharing system. It's an eco-friendly and enjoyable way to see the city, and a great way to work off those pastries. Tip number 30, chocolate croissants. Every single day, indulge in a chocolate croissant daily. It's a delicious treat that you won't get tired of, and a great way to start your day. Tip number 31, climb Arc de Triomphe for epic views. The view from the top is spectacular. You can see the entire city and get a great perspective of the Champs-Élysées, and maybe a few selfies. Tip number 32, savor French onion soup. This classic dish is a must-try. It's rich, flavorful, and perfect for a cozy meal. And a great way to warm up on a chilly day. A warm hug in a bowl. The combination of caramelized onions, beef broth, and melted cheese is simply divine. And maybe a little messy. Tip number 33. Nightlife? Head to the Latin Quarter. This lively area is known for its vibrant nightlife. From bars to clubs, there's something for everyone. And maybe a few new dance moves. Tip number 34. Tuileries Garden for a peaceful break. This beautiful garden is a great place to relax and take a break from the hustle and bustle of the city. And maybe a nap on the grass. Tip number 35. Try escargot. Be brave. You're in France. Escargot, or snails, are a French delicacy. They might seem intimidating, but they're delicious and worth trying. And a great story to tell your friends. Tip number 36. Avoid eating at places with English menus. These are often tourist traps with mediocre food. Look for places where the locals eat for a more authentic experience. And maybe a few new favorite dishes. Tip number 37. Stay in an arrondissement. Each neighborhood in Paris has its own unique charm and character. Choose one that suits your style and explore it thoroughly. And maybe find your new favorite spot. Each has its charm. From the bohemian vibe of Montmartre to the chic streets of Le Marais, there's something for everyone. And maybe a few hidden gems. Tip number 38. Champs-Élysées is for window shopping. This famous avenue is lined with high-end stores. Even if you're not buying, it's fun to window shop and soak in the atmosphere. And maybe dream a little. Tip number 39. Take your time at Notre Dame. This iconic cathedral is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture. Spend some time admiring its beauty and learning about its history. And maybe light a candle. Tip number 40. Musée d'Orsay for impression. Bonus tip. Many Paris museums are closed on Mondays. Plan your visits accordingly to avoid disappointment. Now, let's dive into something that will make your Paris experience even more enriching. Pause 2S. Paris is not just about iconic landmarks and delicious food. It's also a city brimming with cultural festivals that offer a unique glimpse into the Parisian way of life. Tip number 51. Fête de la Musique. This annual music festival takes place on June 21st and transforms the entire city into a massive concert venue. From classical to contemporary, every genre is represented. It's a fantastic way to experience the vibrant music scene of Paris. Tip number 52. Paris Plage. During the summer months, the banks of the Seine and the Bassin de la Villette are turned into temporary beaches. Complete with sand, deck chairs, and water sports, it's a great way to relax and enjoy some sun right in the heart of the city. Tip number 53. Nuit Blanche. Held annually in October, this all-night arts festival features contemporary art installations, performances, and exhibitions throughout the city. It's a magical night where Paris truly lives up to its name as the City of Light. Tip number 54. Bastille Day. Celebrated on July 14th, this national holiday features a grand military parade on the Champs-Élysées, fireworks at the Eiffel Tower, and plenty of festive activities. It's a day filled with national pride and vibrant celebrations. Tip number 55. Paris Fashion Week. If you're a fashion enthusiast, time your visit to coincide with Paris Fashion Week. Held twice a year, this event showcases the latest trends and attracts fashionistas from around the globe. Even if you can't attend the shows, the streets of Paris become a runway of their own. These festivals not only add to the charm of your trip, but also provide a deeper understanding of Parisian culture and traditions. So there you have it. With these tips and the added bonus of experiencing local festivals, you're all set for an unforgettable Parisian adventure. Bon voyage! And remember, Paris is always calling you back. Until next time. Type bonjour in the comments for 5 links to tours and advance tickets to popular attractions booked at trip.com.